Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speak English Daily. I'm Emma. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be completely honest with yourself. When someone speaks to you in English, what happens in your head? Do you understand them immediately? Yes, probably. Do you know what you want to say back? Yes, most likely. But here's the problem. By the time you figure out how to say it, the moment is gone. The conversation has moved on. The other person is staring at you, waiting. And you're stuck there, frozen with this awkward silence between you. Sound familiar? This is one of the biggest frustrations English learners face. And here's what makes it so painful. You're not lacking vocabulary. You're not missing grammar knowledge. You understand perfectly, but you can't respond fast enough. Someone says, "Hey, do you want to grab coffee later?" In your head, you think, "Yes, that sounds good, but I need to check my schedule first because I might have a meeting." But what comes out of your mouth is, yes, but, I need check, and by that time, it's been 6 seconds. The other person looks uncomfortable. You feel embarrassed. The whole conversation feels awkward. Here's what's really happening in your brain when someone speaks to you. You hear the English, translate to your language, think of response in your language, translate back to English, check grammar, worry about pronunciation, finally speak. That's 6 steps. No wonder you're slow. Native speakers, they hear and respond. That's it. Less than 1 second. And here's what you need to understand. Fluent speakers are not smarter than you. They're just faster. They don't know more words. They don't have better grammar. They've just trained their brains to respond automatically without thinking. And I know what you're thinking. But Emma, I need to think. I need to make sure I'm saying it correctly. Here's the truth. Perfect English that comes out after 15 seconds of silence is not better than simple English that comes out in 2 seconds. In real conversations, speed matters more than perfection. Nobody cares if your grammar isn't textbook perfect. What they care about is whether you can keep the conversation flowing. Let me give you a simple test right now. I'm going to say something to you in English. Respond out loud as fast as you can. Don't think, don't translate, just respond immediately. Ready? How was your weekend? Did you respond in less than 2 seconds? Or did you pause to think? Most learners pause. They think, how was my weekend? Well, on Saturday, I went to... No, wait, how do I say that in English? And while you're thinking, 5 seconds have passed. But here's what native speakers say. It was good. Thanks. How about yours? Done. 2 seconds. Conversation continues. Notice something? They didn't describe their entire weekend. They gave a quick, simple response that keeps the conversation moving. That's the skill we're building today. Here's a secret about sounding fluent. Fluency isn't about knowing lots of words. Fluency is about responding without hesitation. Someone who says, "Yeah, sounds good to me," immediately sounds more fluent than someone who pauses for 8 seconds and then says, "Yes, I think that is an excellent idea." Today, I'm teaching you 40 quick response phrases that will change the way you speak English. These aren't complicated sentences. These are the short, simple responses native speakers use every single day. Sounds good to me? I'm not sure, to be honest. That makes sense. I see what you mean. Fair enough. You've heard these phrases 1,000 times. You understand them perfectly. But when was the last time you used them? Most learners think these are too simple. They think they need long, detailed answers to sound smart. But that's exactly backwards. Short, fast responses make you sound fluent. Long, slow responses make you sound like you're struggling. Here's what we're practicing today: 40 quick response phrases, organized into 8 categories: agreeing, disagreeing, showing interest, being unsure, making suggestions, reacting to news, buying time, and keeping conversations going. Every single phrase is something you can say in 1 or 2 seconds, no thinking required, no translation needed, just automatic response. You're going to shadow each phrase during the pause. Focus on speed. Don't worry about perfect pronunciation. Don't pause to think. Just repeat it as fast as you can say it clearly. When you've practiced these enough times, something amazing happens. Someone asks you a question, and the response just comes out. You don't think about it. You don't translate. You just speak. That's when you'll stop sounding like a textbook and start sounding like a real person. And here's my promise to you. After today, you'll never freeze for 5 seconds again. You'll always have something to say. You'll always be able to keep the conversation moving. Even if you need time to think, you'll know exactly how to fill that silence naturally. Check the description below for timestamps. Come back anytime. Practice one category today, another tomorrow. Are you ready to stop overthinking and start responding like a native speaker? Let's begin. Shadowing practice. Category 1. Agreeing and confirming. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. That works for me. That works for me. That works for me. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Category 2. Showing you're unsure. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't really thought about it. I haven't really thought about it. I haven't really thought about it. I'm still on the fence about that. I'm still on the fence about that. I'm still on the fence about that. I can't say for certain. I can't say for certain. I can't say for certain. It's hard to say at this point. It's hard to say at this point. It's hard to say at this point. Category 3. Expressing your opinion quickly. If you ask me, it's a good idea. If you ask me, it's a good idea. If you ask me, it's a good idea. Personally, I think it's worth trying. Personally, I think it's worth trying. Personally, I think it's worth trying. In my opinion, we should wait. In my opinion, we should wait. In my opinion, we should wait. The way I see it, we have no choice. The way I see it, we have no choice. The way I see it, we have no choice. From my point of view, it's too risky. From my point of view, it's too risky. From my point of view, it's too risky. Category 4, showing interest and engagement. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Good point. Good point. Good point. I hadn't thought of it that way. I hadn't thought of it that way. I hadn't thought of it that way. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. Category 5, disagreeing politely. I see where you're coming from, but I disagree. I see where you're coming from, but I disagree. I see where you're coming from, but I disagree. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure about that. I respectfully disagree. I respectfully disagree. I respectfully disagree. I have a different perspective on this. I have a different perspective on this. I have a different perspective on this. That's one way to look at it, I suppose. That's one way to look at it, I suppose. That's one way to look at it, I suppose. Category 6, making suggestions quickly. Why don't we try this approach? Why don't we try this approach? Why don't we try this approach? How about we do it this way? How about we do it this way? How about we do it this way? Maybe we should consider another option. Maybe we should consider another option. Maybe we should consider another option. What if we changed the timing? What if we changed the timing? What if we changed the timing? It might be better to wait a bit. It might be better to wait a bit. It might be better to wait a bit. Category 7. Reacting to news or information. No way. Are you serious? No way. Are you serious? No way. Are you serious? That's amazing. Congratulations. That's amazing. Congratulations. That's amazing. Congratulations. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. That's a relief, honestly. That's a relief, honestly. That's a relief, honestly. Category 8. Buying time while you think. Let me think about that for a second. Let me think about that for a second. Let me think about that for a second. That's a good question, actually. That's a good question, actually. That's a good question, actually. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to think about it. Give me a moment to consider that. Give me a moment to consider that. Give me a moment to consider that. Well, let me see. Well, let me see. Well, let me see. Now that you've practiced all 40 phrases individually, let's see how they work together in real conversations. Pay attention to how quickly each person responds and how natural the conversation flows when you use these automatic phrases. Conversation 1. Making plans. Hey, do you want to grab lunch around 1 p.m.?
Sounds good to me. Where should we go?
How about that new Italian place on Main Street?
I'm fine with that. I've heard good things about it.
Great. Should we invite Mark too?
That's a good question, actually. Let me text him and see if he's free.
Okay, if he can't make it, it'll just be us.
That works for me either way.
Conversation 2. Discussing a project. I think we should launch the campaign next Monday instead of Friday.
I see where you're coming from, but I disagree. Monday might be too soon.
Really? Why's that?
Well, the design team hasn't finished the visuals yet.
Good point. Maybe we should consider another option.
What if we change the timing to Wednesday?
I'd have to think about it. Let me check with the team.
Fair enough. Just let me know.
Will do. Thanks for your input.
No problem. I couldn't agree more that we need to get this right.
Conversation 3. Sharing news. Guess what? I got the promotion.
No way. Are you serious? That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just found out this morning.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that to happen so quickly.
I know, right? I'm still in shock.
Well, if you ask me, you totally deserved it.
That's so sweet of you to say.
I'm not just saying it. I couldn't agree more with the decision.
Thanks, Tom. That means a lot.
Of course. We should celebrate. How about dinner this weekend?
Sounds good to me. I'd love that. So, you've just heard these quick response phrases in action. You've seen how they create natural conversation flow without awkward pauses. Now let me explain why this approach is so powerful for building your speaking confidence. Key takeaways. Why fast responses change everything. 1. Speed creates fluency. 2. Short phrases give you thinking time. 3. Automatic phrases free your brain. These 3 principles work together. When you respond quickly with automatic phrases, you sound fluent. When you use short phrases that buy you time, you can think while still keeping the conversation moving. And when certain phrases become automatic, your brain has more energy to focus on what you actually want to say, not how to say it. Now that you understand why fast responses matter, let me give you a practical challenge to start building this skill immediately. Choose 5 phrases from this video. Write them down. Say them out loud 20 times each, fast. Then, this week, use them in real conversations. Even if you're just talking to yourself, practice responding quickly. Notice how different it feels to respond in 2 seconds versus 10 seconds. That difference is the gap between sounding hesitant and sounding fluent. Next week, choose 5 more. Keep building your automatic response library, phrase by phrase. I'd love to hear about your experience with this practice. Let me know in the comments how it's going. Write in the comments. What's the longest you've paused during an English conversation before responding? Be honest. And which phrase from today will you start using immediately? If this video helped you, please like and subscribe. Every week, I help you build practical speaking skills that actually work in real conversations. Your support helps me create more content like this. So if you found this valuable, I'd really appreciate you sharing it with other English learners who struggle with the same challenge. Here's what just happened in this video. You walked in thinking you needed to improve your English. But the truth is, you don't need better English. You need faster English. You just practiced 40 phrases that will eliminate those painful 5-second pauses forever. You've seen them work in real conversations. You understand why fluent speakers aren't smarter. They're just faster. And now you have the exact same phrases they use, the same automatic responses, the same ability to keep conversations flowing. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be isn't complicated. It's not about studying more grammar. It's not about memorizing more vocabulary. It's about training your mouth to respond automatically. It's about removing that 6-step process in your brain and replacing it with 1 step. Hear and respond. Ask after today, you'll never freeze for 5 seconds again. You'll walk into English conversations with confidence. Someone asks you a question, you respond in 2 seconds. Someone shares news, you react immediately. Someone suggests an idea, you give your opinion without hesitation. That's not magic, that's not talent, that's practice. These 40 phrases are your foundation. They're your safety net. They're your automatic responses that make you sound fluent even when your brain is still catching up. Don't skip them because they seem too simple. Practice them because they're essential. The next time someone speaks to you in English, you won't translate. You won't check grammar in your head. You won't search for the perfect word. You'll just respond. Fast, natural, automatic. That's what fluent speakers do. And starting today, that's what you do too. I'm Emma from Speak English Daily. Remember, fluent speakers are not smarter. They're just faster. Stop overthinking, start responding. Your transformation from hesitant to fluent starts right now. Thank you for practicing with me today. Now go use these phrases out loud and fast. Keep speaking, keep growing. Take care, everyone. Bye.